Friday, TikTok family. I just realized I don't have my little scratchy pad. Hold on one second. I can't do these without my little scratchy pad. Yeah. Gotta find my scratchy pad. Where is that? I always have it with me. I might have put it somewhere weird. There it is. Hello, hello, hello. If you don't see me, I am getting a pad and paper. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm going to be doing some readings here in a little bit, but right now I just want to say hi to you. If you're just coming in, go ahead and feel free to tap the screen if you'd like. Hi, Tate88. And just let me know where you guys are from. I did a huge meditation today. I was going to go on earlier, but I was like, I've got to ground myself. Hi, Cam Michelle. Hold on. We've got a pink petal. How are you, sunshine? Peace 83. There we go. Byron Bay, Australia. Okay, I have to say, I went to a advanced mediumship course in Sydney, Australia years ago, like 2007. And friends of ours said, get a hopper and go to Byron Bay. And it's absolutely beautiful. So that's where you're from. Nova Scotia. I love that. It's me, Leslie, again. Hi, Leslie. Insomnia Mom. Is that supposed to say Insomnia Mommy? S Mommy 54? You'll be right back. No worries. Thank you, everybody, for just coming in. If I look sleepy, I apologize. I was just doing a really deep meditation to ground and make sure my energy was good for you all. And now I'm just drinking my water. Emily's mommy. Elena. And Elena, where are you from? Wouldn't that be funny if we were right next to each other? This entire time and I did not know. Whew. So for those of you just coming on, my name is Julie and I'm a psychic medium. I've had this gift ever since birth. And I have just kind of like honed in on my gift since 2003. And oh, you are in California. I did not know that. And then Rita from Pennsylvania and GA. That's awesome. So one of the things that I do is once I start doing readings is I'll start to see, hear, and feel things that are around you. Hi from Ontario. Hi, Carla. How are you? I love the yellow hearts. Thank you. So some of you have been asking about a class. If I teach this, if you feel like you have a gift of being a medium and you want to take part in a class, I am teaching a class on April 29th. And for more information from that, you can just go ahead and send me an email or double tap here and it will give you all my contact information. But the class is already filling up quick and I just announced it. So I don't have a button for it. I want to keep it kind of small so I can make sure it's going to be quality. I was thinking of you because I'm painting hydrangeas right now. So if you're not following Elena, Nature Inspired Artist, it's a woman-owned business and she's putting herself out there as an artist. And I always have, she says, she's saying that because I always have hydrangeas. You can see right there, always. Those are like my favorite. So I did a reading last night. I was going to go live last night and I ended up doing a reading for this lady, and the energy that I felt around her was amazing. And sometimes when I'm giving people messages, they understand right when I'm giving them the message. And then she was like, you had said Batman and Robin. I was like, I don't know what she's talking about. And then she's like, oh my goodness, last Halloween I dressed the kids as Batman and Robin. She's like, it escaped my mind. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So I always say, write it down. It doesn't guarantee that it's going to record on here because TikTok is good most of the time, but it can have technical difficulties. So if you do run a reading today, there are $40 donation. You just double click on here, you'll see my Venmo, and once you make the donation, it will pop up and I'll be able to start your reading. And until then, I'll just chat a little bit. I think I have Kim as a moderator today, and Jen, who's Patricia Peace 83. She got out and she'll be back in. There's Kim. And if you're not following Kim Coffee Crystals, she's also putting herself out there to sell crystals and start her website. So there's a lifetime of knowledge about all of that and how crystals can help you heal what you're already working on. It's just like they can enhance it a little bit. Have you ever been down and you turn on music and then you feel so much better? You're welcome, Kim. Thank you. You booked. Okay, perfect. I didn't see it pop up. Kim Michelle, did you do PayPal by chance? I think I could probably do 2 or 3 readings today. The meditation I had, I was sharing with Kim, was like, I was going to go on at 3:30, but my energy was so heavy. Gina, how are you? Are you taking anyone else? I can take 3 readings, and I think Kim said that she signed up, and then Gina, you would be second, and I can take a 3rd one, and then we would be done for the night. You did? Yes. Okay, perfect. So Kim, you're going to be first, and then you'll see my beautiful moderator, Kim. She's a volunteer, and she, what she does is she's going to moderate the chat. So once I start a reading, it would be like if I was having a conversation with somebody. I can only talk with one person at a time on here. And the reason I'm describing this for you is if you start chatting and go, me too, my grandmother, it throws me and I can't concentrate on the person I'm reading for. Maybe other mediums can do that. I'm not multitask. So please refrain from talking once I start the reading. You will be muted anyway, so it's not a good idea to talk during the reading because you'll be muted. Flona, girl, your first time here. Well, welcome, Fiona. I love that name. Hey, Adrian, how are you? Leslie, hello. Hello. So glad you're here. So glad everybody's here. Everyone loves Isaac. Hello. Happy Friday, you guys. First time. Nice. Well, thank you for joining us. And then Sam, thank you. Isaac says he loves the reading I gave him. Good, I'm so glad. Now, once I start your reading, you might want to get out a pen and paper and write it down, or you might want to screenshot your reading. It doesn't guarantee that it's going to be, and I got that, Gina, thank you. It doesn't guarantee that TikTok is going to record it. So I did do this one time and somebody was like, it didn't record. Can you do it again? And the thing is the reading is guaranteed. Your reading on here is guaranteed. Yeah, I saw that. Gina and Francisca. Okay, so the list is closed today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I will be on tomorrow around 3:30 Pacific Coast time. So if you sign up past the time where my list is closed, I will be on here tomorrow and then again on Sunday. Yeah, Gina, I got you. So once I start your reading, I'm going to start to see, hear, and feel things, and sometimes it makes no rhyme or reason. It doesn't make sense to me. Like yesterday I was like, I see red roses. She's like, oh my God, out of all the flowers in the world, I hate red roses. And I said that's probably why I'm seeing them. So it's like things you like, that you actually despise, things that reminded you of the person. There's no rhyme or reason. I just know there's a flow to it. And my prayer and intention is that as I give you this message, you're going to have comfort in your heart today and know that your loved one who has crossed over, their body has dissipated, but their spirit is very much still alive. And I can communicate with that because I have a hypersensitivity, but so can you. So very subtle things like asking for signs. They don't always come in our dreams. Sometimes it's as simple as we smell them all of a sudden, their perfume. We see somebody that looks like them. If they had an unusual name, like my mother's birth name was Lillian, which is unusual to see, but at times when I'm thinking of her, I'll see that. Excuse me. So these are just the things that they'll start to show me. So I'm ready to begin. And I think Kim Michelle, you're going to be first. And then Gina, you are second. And I did not get that last name. Francesca, I think. I'm sure. Sorry, Michelle. Our list is closed today, but I am reading for Kim Michelle. So Kim, where are you, sweetie? And then we also have Kim, our moderator, so that might be confusing for some people. But Kim Michelle, I am all ready for you, sweetheart. Like I said, you might want to record this while I'm giving you the reading. Hi, Mary. I'm just in the middle of a reading. If you look up and you see that comment that says, please hold your comments. Okay, and Francine, you're third. Okay, Francine. Okay. So sit back and relax. This is going to be beautiful. We always set the intention that this is going to be great. And Kim Michelle, see her, and my moderator are the only ones who will be talking. If you do converse during this time, you will be muted, but it'll only be for a minute so we can keep the chat clear. Kim, thank you so much for letting me give you a reading today. Please let me know who you want to hear from today. I don't need to know their names, Sunshine. I just need to know their relationship to you. And I'm having a hair thing. I can't look at my hair. Sometimes I get on the hair start. Hi, Ashley. I'm right in the middle of a reading for Kim. So Kim is the only one who should be talking. Kim Michelle. If you look at the moderator, she'll say, okay. So Kim Michelle. Who did you want to hear from today, Kim Michelle? I don't need to know their name. I just need to know who they were in relationship to you. Okay, your grandmother. There's something about, okay, I know, when they come in with funny messages, it makes me start laughing, even though I know it's a mediumship reading and it's heartfelt and it's serious. But she just said she's like collectibles and then like almost like a hoarder. So I don't know if you keep memorables, even if they're not worth a lot, if those are or if those mean a lot to you. I just keep seeing somebody who had like nostalgia, like you have it because it was theirs when they got married. Do you know what I mean? Do you have things of your grandmother's, or did she keep, who would you consider a hoarder, not of only their things but of their ancestors? Like, I don't want to get rid of this, and it's not necessarily because it has a monetary value. It just means a lot to you. Does that make sense to you when I say that? And Kim, did you, since your grandmother has crossed over, or even before that, did you deal with a hardship? Like, did you have a breakup? Because she's showing me, I just went through my daughter's clothes and couldn't get rid of him. Okay, thank you. That's what I was feeling. And she's saying like hoarder. Do you know what I mean? She's saying it like that. But your heart hurts to me. So I don't know if you just went through a hardship, or someone like I want to like bullied you or made you question yourself. Is your self-worth? Is this making any sense to you? I feel, one, that you're incredibly empathic, so please stay that way. Don't let the world make you hard. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like you couldn't if you tried. Oh, Jesse, I'm right in the middle of a reading for Kim. So if you'll see, I had a lot of trouble with my parents. Okay, very toxic. So that makes sense to me. So I keep hearing that movie Ice Castle. Like it's like, the Glass Castle, it's like that. And I think it's from a dysfunctional family. So this is just for Kim Michelle. You might find similarities in this reading, but please don't comment. I promise I'll take a break after. That's Spirit's way of hitting one person, very much so. Okay. There's something too about your grandmother saying that, you know that saying when you say, I had to be strong because being strong was the only choice I had. Do you ever say that? Because there's this thing about where you feel very resilient. Yes, that's what I'm seeing. I just didn't want to say that on the thread because I didn't know how private you might be. Yes, that's what I'm seeing too. So that would be why they're showing me that movie. And it's about a toxic family. But the person who wrote it, she comes up on, she's like the chain breaker. And I see you, Linda. Sorry if you might get muted. I'm just doing a reading for Kim. And what happens is anytime anybody comments, even if you're just saying hi, it throws me into your energy. And I really am trying to concentrate on Kim's reading. So you'll find you'll get muted, but it's only for a minute so I can concentrate. And I promise if you're patient, I'll be able to say hi to everybody. But your grandmother's talking about how resilient you are. And is there a Lucy, like an L? She just went like Lucy. So I don't know if there's like I love Lucy or your name is Lucy. Hi, you guys. If you can refrain from commenting, I'm just in the middle of a reading for Kim, and I promise I'll say hi to everybody. But my moderator is going to go down and mute people. Lindsay is your sister. That's it. Thank you. That's why I'm seeing this. Okay. Lindsay, because she went like L. So Lucy, Lindsay, that's close. But if it's like Lindsay and like Julie, we don't make that, we don't do that as well. So your daughter, is she named after your grandmother, or there's something similar with your daughter? Or wait a minute, do you have a daughter? Did I ask that yet? Do you have a daughter? I think you said earlier you were going through your daughter's clothes. Does your daughter favor your grandmother or have her first name or middle name? You do. Okay, because she's like, same. She says it like that. She's showing me like that. Hold on one second. Is there somebody in your family that looks like Chip and Joanna Gaines? Or I don't know if you live in Texas or Waco, Texas, or why I'm seeing specifically Joanna Gaines. I just keep seeing her. So I don't know if someone's name is Joanna or if you always wanted to flip and redo houses or redo rooms, you or your sister. Do you understand why I would be seeing that? They'll show me things about you that I would not know. And I keep seeing they have these two like, I don't know what they're called. Yes, I did. Oh, you did. So you understanding. As long as you understand, baby girl, that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. And I keep seeing a scarf and I'm trying to understand why your grandmother is showing me that. Did your grandmother always wear a scarf? Like, I almost smell a scarf. I know that sounds interesting, but my grandmother used to get her hair done and put the scarf over, and I swear I smell a scarf. I wanted to do interior design, but I also wanted to make clothes. Okay, just so you know, go back after this and look at the thing I just posted. I don't think so with scarf. That's okay. I'm just going to put it to the side. I keep seeing it and I keep smelling it. So it's like that sheer material smell. I don't know why I'm smelling that. If it's not a scarf, it's very close to that material. Unless you have one of her dresses, your grandmother's dresses that has like sheer, like a scarf to me would be sheer. At least that's what I'm seeing. I always say, just write it down like what I said before at the beginning of the reading. I keep smelling it. So if it's not this grandmother, you have another grandmother coming through. And is there a Mary, Margaret, or Maria? It's M-A-R, either here or crossed over. And you're right to distance yourself from your parents. Your grandmother is saying it's very courageous of you. Don't let other people say, oh my gosh, they're your parents. You should. You have to keep your distance because they are incredibly needy and toxic. That's what she says. You're just, yeah. You had to learn that the hard way. This decision didn't come overnight. This came from years of giving them chances and having your heart broken many times. Do you understand what I'm saying about that? I'm not thinking of M-A-R that passed, but my step's name is Miranda and still alive. Yep, that would just be like exactly how they're showing somebody. Remember I said they're going to name somebody here or there. Now they're talking about your parents and you have a stepmom. That's it. Hold on. This makes no sense to me, but do you love Tootsie Rolls, or did your grandmother have those at her house? I keep seeing a candy like Tootsie Rolls and it's wrapped on both ends. And please refrain from speaking. You'll find that you'll get muted. I'm just in the middle of doing a reading for Kim, as you'll see my moderators letting everybody know. The word I keep hearing for you is your grandmother keeps saying how resilient you are, that you're strong. She always had candy, like the strawberry candies. Okay, that makes sense with because there's like twists. But I'm specifically tasting like the Tootsie Roll. Just mark it down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it would be like somebody always had those in her pocket, like bit of honey too. Like I'm tasting that. So perfect. So the candy reference, you're understanding how that goes. Okay, I will. So she's telling me to share with you, not only when our grandparents pass away and our loved ones are they our guide, But if you're named after somebody and you were a lot alike, she liked the butterscotch was her favorite. That's why I'm tasting more like a bit of honey, was like the butterscotch. Thank you very much. And so if you randomly taste that or smell that, that's her too. We see, hear, or feel things when the other side's trying to communicate with us. And she just was the kindest person. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how she had such a selfish kid. Maybe because she was so nice. Do you know what I mean? She is your ideal grandmother. And I don't know why. Did she always wear a house coat? I have this, but I so want to like keep going like this. So I feel like, you know how some grandmothers have those house coats? It's not a robe. It's like you zip it up. I keep wanting to do that. This is so funny. And she keeps repeating that you're resilient, that you deserved better parents. She must have been your saving grace, that you had somebody that was there who would show up for you and be consistent. Does that make sense? And I'm also getting a G sound, but I don't know if there's a Gloria here or crossed over, or like Lori, Glory, but that's okay. She was the strength, and I regret not spending more time with her. She knows, but she also was very resilient, and I just feel like she was the driving force and the glue that kept the family together. And I think because of how she was, everybody just thought she was going to be around forever. Do you know what I mean? But she does say that you were such a beautiful soul in her life, and that she's saying that you underestimate the power of your light and your presence for other people. So I'm wondering if sometimes people drain you, because whenever I see that, I know that you're a bright light. And she wouldn't want you to feel any regret. Do you understand? So whenever they go like this, it's like wipe the slate clean. She's like, no, dear, we're not going to do that. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to do that. And she keeps bringing up a G. So I don't know if you live in a town with a G, or if this is somebody's name. That's okay. I was just put it to the side. Yeah. And show me anything else. Oh, did she know? Okay. One of the things that your grandmother's making me feel is that when people look at you, you're very private with your story, and a lot of people don't know much about you. But okay, if it doesn't make sense, put that to the side. But one of the things that she's saying is you've been through so much that when people look at you, they don't think that you've gone through what you've gone through because of your shining self. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you have, it's like a life purpose, like an empath of like helping people feel better about themselves. So I just keep seeing that. Perhaps you've already gone through the clearing where you let go of needy friends. I always say, to know if someone's draining you, yes, you do. You're very empathic. That's what I'm saying. Has anybody ever said that you should write a book? Has anybody ever said, oh my gosh, you should share your story? It can be fiction or nonfiction. There's something about where I just keep seeing a book around you. So I don't know if you've been reading a lot and studying about this on your own. She does say that you're very courageous to be the chain breaker of all this toxic inheritance. No, haven't thought about a book, but I would love to write. Please know she keeps bringing it up. One thing I know when I see somebody and they would be a very good writer, as I always say, get out of the house, get a book, say that that's going to be the book that you write in for that, and then start to write in it 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and go out to a cafe. If you're at your house, you'll start cleaning the carpets and doing the laundry. Do you know what I mean? Rearranging the sock drawer. Like it's just something that writers do. So please get out and go about, because she is saying that she's your guide to want to do this. There was something about her where she was like, I don't know if, yes, it's making sense to you. I don't know if she ever went in education, or she just liked being people's helper. Whenever I see somebody like your grandmother, I always say they have teacher energy. It just feels like a teacher to me, somebody who loved being with kids, was very patient, wanted to show them things. Like she just feels like that kind of energy. And she would have loved to have the confidence to be able to write a book. Do you understand? And this is like Women's History Month. We just had International Women's Day yesterday. And before you do anything else, after you log off here, Kim Michelle, please go and look at the last post I had about like female writers and businesses growing. It's a vision I've seen for a long time, and I see that with you too. And like I said, it can be fiction or nonfiction. This is your story to tell, and kind of empower yourself. You can either publish it or just write it for you or your daughter, just to say, I went through this and how resilient I am. Do you know what I mean? I just keep seeing that. And I don't know why I keep seeing someone on the beach, like jumping up in the air. So I don't know if you just did that or that's a picture with you and your daughter. It looks by water. It can be a lake. It's literally like, you know how they go 1, 2, 3 and you take a picture and someone's in the air? I keep seeing that. Does that make sense to you when I say this? And she's saying, once you start writing, don't tell people about it, because they'll be like, oh, you know how hard it is to get published? You know, a lot of people want to write it, but just keep it to yourself. This is the one thing that you're going to be doing for yourself. And she's encouraging you to do that. I do like the beach. Not sure about jumping in the air pictures. Okay. I just keep seeing it. So I think your grandmother's giving you an idea of the cover for the book, and it's about resiliency. I just keep seeing that over and over again. Do you hate, she just said you hate having your picture taken. Do you hate having your picture taken or something? Okay, one of the things I have to ask you, did your grandmother cover her furniture with plastic or something? Oh, Mike, she's like, OMG. I feel like I'm sitting on a couch and it's got still the plastic on it. Do you know how people used to do that? Or it's like there's always a cover on the couch or the chair. Is this making any sense to you? I rarely see colors, but I feel like I see like a floral chair, but it's like has plastic on it. She had one on the couch in the living room and it always had the cover on. Thank you. That's what I just kept seeing. So see how, yes, like a floral blanket. Thank you. And it was always just on there. Okay. Something very specific that I would not know. Do you understand? Like she's just bringing that up. And she makes me feel like she was a very simple woman and enjoyed her life. Please don't anything like past this day. She would not want you to have felt guilty. All of the times that you came, you gave her like, I just have chills everywhere. She would wait. Like you gave her a second reason to like get up that day and get dressed. And she always knew that you were the one who was going to like break that chain of toxicity. She's saying you don't realize what you've been through. You don't realize what a miracle you are. And you don't realize that not everybody makes it through like how you did. Do you understand? I wish she could have met my babies. She sees them now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you had 3, but she shows me you and she goes 3 like this. So if it's you, your sister, and another sibling, or if you have 3 kids, but I'm telling you, she's showing me the number 3 with you. Okay? Whew. So I am pulling back a bit. Just know when she comes through and she tells me all these things with validation, and this is my job as a medium to say, they're very much alive. Their bodies have dissipated, but they're very much alive and they're always around you. Okay? I hope this helps you. Keep asking her for signs. She's definitely trying to show you that she's near. And the fact that she brought up the covered couch with the floral color and the butterscotch candy, this is just one of the things that you're like, I saw one of those right after I did the reading, but it's not from me. Do you understand? It's like we're breaking open any doubt and we're opening up the energy to have them be able to show you easier signs, if that makes any sense. But I hope this brought you some joy today, Kim, Michelle, and I want to thank your grandmother for coming through. So Claire, thank you. Tell her I love her, my sister, and the kids miss her. Yeah, I will tell her, but like I said, she can hear you. They can hear you. They can hear you. So I'm going to take a little, okay, that's okay, Kim. Yeah. So this is a time where I can say hi to you guys. My moderator is going to be jumping in and out a little bit, so I'm going to need your guys' patience. This is the time where we're not going to mute you. I can say hi to people. I will be doing another reading for Gina and then Francine, but I can say hi to you guys right now. Some of you guys are asking me for a reading. I can't do a reading right now because I have a list and I have 2 more people I'm going to read. And it's really hard for me to do readings for everybody because I just can't. But if you're looking for a private reading, you can go double click here and it will take you to my website where you can schedule a private reading for me too. I will be on here tomorrow. My list is closed today. Some of you guys are asking, how do you do this? It's a $40 donation. It's via Venmo. You can double tap here or PayPal. I'm not taking any more readings appointments today, but I will be on here tomorrow, probably around 3:30 Pacific Coast time. How much is a private reading? Right now, my private readings are $275 an hour, and Zoom, I think, is $375 an hour. And some people are wondering how this works. I do have a 4-year degree and as a counselor, and I also have been studying for this for 10 years before I even started my business, and I've been having my business for 2 decades. So this is what I actually do for a living. Hi, Julie. I've been thinking about going forward in my writing and getting inspired by you. Dandy, I'm so happy. Ellie, my mom passed. Oh, you would love to hear from her. So I would love to give everybody here a reading, but like I said, I have 2 more readings I have to do. So I really can't just come on here and answer all these questions. I wish I could. Hi, Julie. I just read your book, I Am Home, and loved it. My mom and I will be in touch with you soon. Oh, Jamie Martin, so good to see you. I'm glad you liked it. I do talk to the other side when the spirits cross over. Their bodies dissipate, but their spirits are very much still alive, and we all can communicate with them. It's just mediums have a hypersensitivity for it, if that makes any sense. So when I give people a reading and they're like, can you tell my grandmother that we love them and things like that, it's like, I can, but they can hear you. And my job as a medium is to say, now you can start doing this. And even if you say, like, the first time I did this, I went like, so supposedly, Dad, I can ask you for a reading. So Dad, show me a sign. Like, it was weird, but I just kept doing it. I need a reading on how to contact somebody. Perfect. I will be on here tomorrow during more readings, and I set up readings through my website too. So I do have 2 more spots that I have to do readings for today, and these are scheduled, so I don't have any openings today. This is just basically, I try to do readings for people any way that I can. If you're following me, I have come on here numerous times and give free readings, which I do every so often. And on Instagram, and then you can go to my website and schedule with me too for a phone reading, or do a Zoom reading with your family and friends. That's always fun as well. So these are kind of like the different ways I do. I know, sweetie, but my list is closed today, so I wouldn't be able to do your reading today, and I have a reading right after these. Yes, these are spirit led. I just channel. I set my intention and I channel, and that's the way it works for me. But I will be on tomorrow as well. Okay, so thank you guys for all of your questions. I am going to start doing Gina's reading now. So Gina, so good to see you. Yes, oh, you're so wonderful, Jamie. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. So Gina, thank you. So everybody, Gina's the only one who should be talking. Even if you talk during her reading, I'm not going to be able to respond to you anyway, so please don't do that. I'm going to read and then I'll take a break, and then I read and take a break. So right now I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on Gina's reading. My moderator's in and out. You'll see the comment right here. She's going to go ahead and pin that. Thanks, Kim. And Gina, thank you for letting me give you this reading today. Please let me know who you want to hear from today, sweetheart. I don't need to know their name. I just need to know their relationship to you. Gina, Gina, Bobina, Fanana, Fana, Fofina, Gina. Your dad. Okay. Can I ask you, like I said, I know these are mediumship readings and we're missing people, so they're heartfelt. But as I was waiting for you to tell me who you wanted to hear from, I just kept hearing little boss. So I don't know if you are the boss of the family or if you're a natural leader, but he literally just said little boss. Does that make sense to you when I say that? And were you and your dad the most alike? Because he says same. And I don't think you guys have the same like name. I think he's like, there's something similar about you guys. And did your dad own his own business or do you? Are you an entrepreneur? Is any of this making sense? I know I start talking fast and it's hard to like, yes, this is making sense to you. I won't know what you're saying yes to. And Gina's the only one who should be talking. Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna grab a little sip of tea. And he just keeps saying small but mighty. Like, I'm 5'7". I don't know if you're tiny or if that's how people have said, yes, I think we were the most alike. I'm very different from my mom. Okay. There's something about like entrepreneur energy. Hi, Tiffany. I'm right in the middle of a reading. That's why I'm not saying hi. And you're tiny because he says small but mighty. Small but mighty. Hi, Linda. I'm right in the middle of a reading, you guys. Thank you for being here, though. And I'll be able to, if you guys are very patient, I'll be able to break after this reading and answer everything. But right now, if you can refrain from commenting while I'm giving Gina a reading, it's much appreciated. Thanks. So you would agree with him. Okay. Does your mind race? Do you have your own business? Are you an entrepreneur? Because there's something about, he's saying that you're a natural leader. He's trying to help you stand in power with this. So when you're working with other companies, you don't feel like the future is in their hands. Do you know what I mean? Are you really good with hair? Do you work at a hair salon? Okay, not at the moment. Did you just get your hair done or do you work at a hair salon? And you used to. See, how would I know that? I love how he's coming through. Yeah. And one of the things that he's showing me is that he's saying, he's trying to help empower you. He's trying to help empower you. And so your name is Gina. Okay. I keep hearing like a GJ name. So I don't know if this is G or J. Does your dad start with a J? Like, is it John or James? Jim? Because he's showing me that as well. And they would be talking about themselves or somebody that they have with them or someone here. And he also brings me to October. So October would be someone's passing and or someone's birthday. Are you also the only person in your family to really kind of believe in this stuff? Does this make sense to you? That's your birthday, October. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I keep hearing this song. This is so funny because so if you see me do readings on here, Gina, they tell me like random songs. I'm like, why am I singing that? Do you like Fergie or something? Do you know the song Fergalicious? Dun, 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 dun. But it's not that song. It's like the Fergie song when she's on the plane and she's got a jet. I don't know why I keep seeing that, but your dad is singing that song and like pointing to you, and it's cracking me up. But I think he's making me feel like if you're feeling stuck or heavy energy, like you're meant for more than what you're doing right now, even though glamorous. Do you understand? Yeah, glamorous. He says he's like, Gina, that's your song. That's your song. And is there John, like a John or Joe? It's like J-O. I just keep seeing that either here and or crossed over. He's saying that's the lifestyle you've always like dreamed of, but then you look at your life and you're very generous and you give a lot of time away. You definitely feel stuck. That's why he keeps talking about that. So when we have big dreams, but we don't have like the confidence, or maybe you seem very smart to me. So you could have a great idea at 8 o'clock in the morning, which you probably have had with your coffee. And then by 6 o'clock at night, you've already talked yourself out of why that idea won't work. Does that make sense? So I say people like you need like a hype. He's going to be like your hype man. to say, just try it. So if I were you, I would go to a cafe, get out of your house, get a journal, write down all the things that you love, go on a walk, come back, circle those things, leave, come back and look at it again. And I don't know why he's making me feel like you failed at something. He's saying you haven't. So I don't know if you've already tried to be on your own and it did not work. But I do believe that we are all good manifestors, but I do believe that we have seasons of when things will work out for us. And he's saying that you're like the jack of all trades. Yeah, you're very good with a lot of different things. So it may be very overwhelming for you to say, what do I want to do? Are you in real estate? Did you just sell a house? I literally see a for sale sign on a house. So I don't know if you guys had to sell daddy's house or why I see a line of like for sale signs. I've been trying to get into PA school. I would agree with this. This is all making sense to you, right? Yeah. Who's in real estate? There's a for sale sign. I just keep seeing that. Oh, they can be a broker, a realtor, like it's something. I just keep seeing for sale signs. So I don't know if you guys just bought a home or if you had to sell daddy's home, but I'm seeing something like this. Does this make sense too when I say that? So sweetheart, you've got to get your journal out and write all the things that you love to do and circle the ones that you like, not the one that you think like, oh, this is really in right now. This is going to make a lot of money. Oh, you want to buy a house, so you're saving. But are you constantly looking on Zillow? Do you drive around and look at houses? Because you're a really good manifestor. That's the way to do it, he says. And he literally said 2 years. So within 2 years, you're going to be able to buy a house. Yes, every day. That's why I was like, why am I seeing real estate signs? Like you just went somewhere where there was a new complex then. Because it's like I'm driving through and I have chills everywhere. So this just happened. This is him saying I was with you, where it's like a new complex and there's all these for sale signs. Do you understand what he's talking about? It's like a whole new complex or something. Is that making sense to you when I say that? Your dad was a looker. Do you know what I'm saying? Your dad was a looker. Thanks, Jen. You might be muted, but if you need somebody in real estate in Arizona, Jen's going to help you. Yeah, because he keeps saying, he's like, hey, I was no George Clooney, but I could have acted if I wanted to. So he makes me feel like he was really good looking. And I think that people think that you looked more like him than other people in your family. So I feel like then he's like, you get your good looks from me. That's how he says it like that. Who's the one who's like, don't touch my hair? I don't know if that's you when you get your hair done and you do not like she's like 100%, don't touch my hair. Like once I do it, like my hair, I don't have hairspray. I don't have anything in it. So if anybody messed up my hair, I'd be like, no. But somebody's like, once I do my hair, like don't touch it. Do you know, does this make sense to you? So I don't know if he's talking about himself or this is you, but once I do my hair, like don't touch my hair. I have this thing about people touching my hair and he's showing me that. So I'm trying to understand what he's talking about. And is the 17th significant or January 7th? Possibly him as well. Yeah. So remember he said, she's my little girl and we're alike. So it's like, don't touch my hair. Like once I do it with all the hair products, like don't touch it. Like I said, like everybody's different. I don't wear hair products. So I was like, oh, okay. Go back to the thing that you were just going to say. Okay. So Gina, when someone crosses over and they were more like you, it seems like we're having this a lot today, and there's always a theme when I do group readings, is that they will be your guide to help you. And you've always been a big dreamer, and big dreamers are sometimes laughed at, or you may laugh at your own idea. But it's following that idea that's going to get you this. And so when we hope, wish, or pray, it's all the same thing. Your dad wants me to tell you this. When we hope, wish, or pray, we receive an idea from the divine, from God, whoever you believe in is your higher source, okay? There is a higher loving source all around us. Don't let anybody define what that is for you. I'm just going to, for the sake of this reading, I'm just going to say God, okay? Non-denominational, that love is always around guiding you. You will start to receive an idea. And if you don't act on that idea, you'll be like, oh, I invented that years ago and now it's on Shark Tank. It's like they stole my idea. It's like, no, it's in the vortex, and whoever's going to jump on it, that's who it's going to go to. Do you understand kind of what I'm saying? So your dad is making me feel like when you hope, wish, or pray for more abundance, because you want a house and you're looking at finances and you're looking at it very seriously, which you should. I always say dream like a child, plan like an adult, but you're dreaming like an adult and you're planning like an adult. It's too serious. So you're like, we'll never get a house. It's like never going to happen. He says, stop saying that because you're more magical than you think. It's like you can help other people manifest, he says, and you encourage other people. When it comes to yourself, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Does that make sense to you? So he says, write down what kind of house you want, have a dream board. When the ideas start coming to you, write them down. Go off, yes, is making sense to you. Go off, drive around, come back and look at the list again and highlight the ones that you like the most until you get down to one, and pick that idea, and no matter what, just keep moving. Just keep moving through it. Promise yourself that you're going to see it through. You move where you can, then God, the universe, your higher source is going to move where you can't. My only concern about you is I've seen people like you before where you're really smart and you almost become a perfectionist for yourself. You're fine helping other people all the way through. So promise yourself that you're going to do this for your dad's all pinky swear me, that you're going to do this for yourself and you're going to follow it all the way through. Because what's happening now, you guys, is that we are all great manifestors, but there is seasons for things. And women businesses and art and all of that and inventors, we're on a rise with that right now. And it is your season. So don't let the economy and all of this affect you. Go look at the video I just posted about, I had a vision that tech would be declining and all of this was going to start rising. So you might have had a vision before, even worked on something and it didn't come to fruition in the magnitude that you wanted to. This is your season. I'm telling you, it's like we can manifest, but we can't grow tomatoes in the winter. Do you know what I mean? So your dad is like, baby girl, you gotta like harness this energy with both hands and just like run with it. And he was a doer too. Do you know what I mean? He was a doer, and that's how he makes me feel. And he keeps showing me 3. So I don't know if you have 3 kids in your family, if your dad passed away 3 years ago, or if he passed away in the month of March, but he shows me 3. Does that make sense to you when I say that to you? And can I ask you, did your dad pass away from a heart attack? I almost like can't breathe when he comes by. Like the closer he gets to me, I feel like I cannot breathe. Okay, so it's you and 2 brothers. So there are 3 kids. Okay, thank you. Yep, it would be you and 3, and that's 3 kids. Thank you. Yeah. Did it impact his chest? I literally can't breathe. It's almost like pressure is right here. Does that make sense to you? And was there a lawsuit about the car accident? Because I'm feeling like it was someone else's fault. Oh, just right here. Just hurts so bad. Yes, okay. That's what he's trying to show me. Okay. And is somebody a firefighter or something like that? Or when he got out of the car wreck, was it actually like the firefighters who helped him get out? I don't know why I keep seeing a fire truck. So I'm trying to say if he's bringing me to the accident or if he's saying someone in the family actually worked for a fire department. And I'll be able to answer some questions in a bit, you guys. He was taken by helicopter. Okay, to the hospital. Okay. Just so you know, he's showing me a fire. There's something about a fire engine, but I'm just going to put it to the side unless somebody has a red truck. Unless somebody has a red truck. Can be maroon, doesn't have to be red. Okay, so let me pull back. Were you in another town when he passed away? Okay. just put it to the side. If someone owns a red truck, or if someone worked for the fire department, or if you're like, oh, we have a fire department right down the street, a fire truck always comes, then that's it. Okay. Because he's 98% of what I'm channeling at that time will make sense, and the other 2% put to the side. Because I feel you there with him. Did you make it in time when he crossed over? I can feel it's like you're touching his hand. That's the way he's making me feel. Okay. Did you get there after? Like, was he gone, but you were holding his hand? I feel you touching his hand. So one of the things that happens is, when I see this, when they start to show me that and the energy starts to move heavier, if you ever feel guilty or if you're mad that you didn't make it there in time, they would want you to know that they still felt you. It's like, I don't know how to, this is a perfect example. Have you ever thought of a good friend and you go to text them and then they text you? So we needn't be like with someone to feel their energy. He's letting me know that he felt you. Unless there was a story where you're like, I honestly feel like my dad was touching me. I know it's going to seem weird to everybody else, but I felt like he was with me. I keep seeing that. But please don't beat yourself up for it, because one of the things is I know with passing that people wish they could be there, just like the movies, and that you could say your goodbyes and that they could say that they love you too. One of my jobs as a medium is to say, there's never really a goodbye, but I understand wanting to say goodbye to them physically. And when this happens, they always say, I can hear you and I heard you, so I already saw you. Does that make sense? So as much as we physically wanted to say goodbye to them, and if sometimes that doesn't happen, they still hear you. Is this making any sense to you, sweetie, as I say that? Does somebody have his ring or his watch? Do you have his ring or watch? Because he's drawing me back to somebody's hand. He keeps doing that. Do you have a Jorge or George, either here or crossed over as well? You recently got engaged. I think that's why he keeps he's like, showing me your hand, showing me your hand. So when you got engaged, if you were like, my dad's not here to see this, this is his way of saying, yes, I am. Yes, I saw that. And he's glad that you didn't just marry anybody just to be like, oh, it's that time, I'm a certain age and I've got to. He makes me feel like you were very picky with the people that you were dating and very picky with the person who you would have in your life for your forever. Does that make sense to you when he says that? And I don't know who you dated before this, but he's like, oh, thank God it's not that other guy. Tom, he's like, no, he just showed me a T. Well, whoever that is, he's like, that's good. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I am pulling a little, she's like, TMI, Jills, we're not talking about that. Yeah. Whenever they do, like my friend used to do sign language and she'd be like, stinky boy. So whenever spirit shows me that, I know that they did not care for somebody for you. Does that make sense? And I don't know if you love white roses or white flowers. I know I have hydrangeas, so we were talking about this, but I just keep seeing white roses around you. Okay, so just know this is Daddy's way of coming through. He's not dissipated, and his body has dissipated, but his spirit's very much still alive. Your dad had gumption and energy. I was picking those for my wedding, the white roses. Yeah, this is your dad's confirmation. It was my mistake in not understanding why he was showing me the hand and thinking it was an engagement, but he was like, I passed and it's her hand. I passed her hand. And he just kept saying that over and over again. So then that's his way of saying, I know she got engaged. He knows, sweetheart. And he'll be there. I always say, tell them, I really miss you. I need a sign that day. You need to make it so prominent that nobody can second guess. Like, I wonder if that was the sign. Like, it's him. It's him. He knows. Okay? So I am pulling back a little bit, sweetheart. I hope this brought you some comfort today and letting you know that he's very much around you. Sweetie, he can hear you. He can hear you. He's already there. He's in the air you breathe. He's within the trees. He's within nature. He's within your heart. The E.E. Cummings, I carry you in my heart. Look up that poem. I carry you in my heart. He's right there. Your dad was a person who kept his promises. He makes me feel integrity. And when he says he promises he's going to be there for you, he's going to be there. You're welcome, honey. You're so welcome. Thank you, Gina. And blessings on your engagement. He says thumbs up to the guy. Not the guy before, but this one he says good. Thank you guys for being here. I have time to say hi to a couple people, and then I have Francis's reading. And then Ashley, if you're still in here, my moderator, I could do your reading after this. You're welcome, Gina. So I always tell people, write these down. It's not always a guarantee that TikTok's going to record it. So write this down or screen record your reading. Hey, Amanda, I haven't seen you forever. Jess, how do you get a reading? Hi, Yvonne. I will be on here tomorrow around 3:30 Pacific Coast time. I do them by $40 donations on here, but I do phone readings and Zoom readings. If you want one, you can double click that and it will go down and it'll say schedule reading with Julie and you can see it. Also, you guys, this is my only account. I do not have another account. So if someone reaches out to you, they'll say, my beloved, I'm going to pull a card for you. I never reach out to you to give you a reading that way. Janet, I love the way you read with so much class and caring. Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Is it Janet? Well, I do have a 4-year degree in counseling, and then plus I'm a psychic. So I feel like I combine those. So thank you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Amanda says I was a very bad accident. I'm home now recovering. Happy I caught you. Oh my gosh, Amanda. I'm so sorry. I've been following you on TikTok too. I should have reached out since I haven't seen your videos. Oh, your name's Janice. Okay, very nice to meet you, Janice. Thank you for saying that. I always appreciate the feedback. Amanda, are you dating somebody now? Because I don't remember always everybody's reading, but I do remember that your fiance passed, right? Because he's like, she's with a good guy now. And your dog is so cute. I love watching all your videos. I'm going, hold on. Woo! So much. Good evening. Hi, you guys. Jeannie, I'm also happy I found. I am glad you guys are here too. Okay, so I am. He's been so supportive through my recovery. He's the best. Lee, how would I know? He's like, she has a new boyfriend. I'm like, she does? He's a good guy, he says. He says he's not as handsome as he was, but he's a good guy. My list is full tonight, Yvonne. I will be on here hopefully tomorrow around 3:30 Pacific Coast time. Do I have a P.O. box or address? No, I don't. Shoot. But if you message me, I'll give you my info. I should get a P.O. box. And I do phone readings and Zoom readings, you guys. So these aren't my only readings, and I do this full time. This is the only thing I do, is do this, and I teach this. So if you tap on here, you'll see it will say schedule a reading, and you can do a reading that way as well. Okay. When your loved ones cross, Tina, they see everything. They know. And for those of you who have questions of how this works, I was guided to write this book. I know it's probably backwards, but it's called I Am Home, and it's on Kindle and Amazon, and it answers so many questions. Because after trying to give readings and people had more questions, and I can only hold this space so long to give a reading, I was like, I need to write a book to show people kind of like how to look for signs and talk to your loved ones. Okay. Thank you guys for all of the questions. Yeah, thank you, Tina. But once your loved ones crossed, they're never stuck. Like anybody, John Edwards, I'm trying to think of anybody else right now. Sorry, it's the only medium I can think of. Teresa Caputo. Thank you, Jamie. Everybody lets you know your loved ones cross and they're crossed. Nobody is stuck. Don't ever let a medium or psychic tell you someone's stuck and for $300 I can help your loved one cross over. That's absolutely not true. Sometimes people are heavier to read if they passed in a tragedy, if you have guilt around it, if they were part of their own passing, you will see like it'll be heavier, but they've always made it to the other side. They tell me they're at their home, and that's why I call the book I Am Home, because whenever I ask somebody where they are, they always say I'm at home. And the veil between where they are and we are is very thin, which is why they can show us signs. And that's why it's always open. If you have to ask, was that a sign? Then that's a sign. It's very simple, actually. But not all spirits come to you in a dream state and you have a dream of them. That's like very unusual. It is great when they do it, but not all spirits come that way, okay? My friend newly passed. Is it too soon to do a reading? No, I read people the morning after they passed. Yeah, I'm going for an induction this weekend. Will everything be okay? Yeah, Nikki, I'm just sending you good energy. I really feel listen to a meditation CD or watch some funny movies and try to relax so your body isn't so nervous, because I don't know if you haven't slept. Okay, you guys, I'm going to answer one more question, then I'm going to go do, Francine is on here and I'm going to do her reading too. Why do I always have a feeling that people in my life that are passing before they die? That's what I had, Meg. You're like a psychic medium. Hey, Kelly, Bo Belly. So, you having premonitions, that's how a psychic ability happens. I always knew things before they would happen, or I just knew where people were. I couldn't have a boyfriend that was dishonest because I would know who they cheated with, when. Like, it was awful, because it can really play havoc with a psychic. But I didn't know I was psychic. It was like a premonitions of people passing that were confirmed, and then showing me that I was a psychic medium. So you might want to read that book that I have called I Am Home. My last name is Julie Dart, my name is Julie Dart, and it's on Amazon. It's for people who think that they might have the gift. I just share my story in hopes that it helps you as well. It scares you, yeah. If you want to control it and you don't want it to happen, I don't know how to do that. I just know that that's how I started having my gift open, Meg. And so I was like, if this is going to keep occurring, I need to learn how to work with this. And just know you're not making that happen, Meg. They're giving you the heads up that it's occurring in someone's life, okay? Hi, Tiffany. I'm just right now getting ready. I was just answering simple questions. But right now I'm going to go ahead and get Francis's reading ready. So, Francine, are you in here, Francine? Francine Bobine, thanks for waiting, and Kim, thanks for being a moderator today. If you're not following Kim Coffee Crystals, she is a moderator. She's a volunteer on here. Meg, you're awesome too. Thank you. I actually am teaching a class April 29th for people who think they might be a medium, who want to meet other like-minded people. And so if you're interested in that, double click on here and contact me through my website, okay? So Francine, thank you for being here. You are my last reading of the night, sweetheart. The way that I like to do these readings is to see who you want to hear from today. I don't need to know their name, Sunshine. I just need to know who they are to you. And sorry, Guy, I'm just doing my last reading, so we're just having Francine. Yeah, there you are, Francine. So the way I like to do this on a group reading, because all I hear right now are spirits yelling at me to help me hone in on your energy when I either do a group reading when people are here, is yeah, that's a little, it's Okay, let me see what I can do. She's like, any family members. It's like when you have people who are like my big fat Greek wedding, or when Rachel comes on here while I'm doing your reading and starts asking about her mother, I'm going to hear that. It's better if I can get like one person who you have crossed over so I can hone in on what they're talking about. But I'll try my best, okay? So Francine, is your father crossed over as well? And this is just for Francine. Rachel, I'm right in the middle of a reading, so I won't be able to answer your question at this time. Thank you for being here, though. Yes, because he's the first person that comes through. So I don't know if you guys were the closest, if you were the oldest daughter or oldest or firstborn daughter or the oldest daughter, but there's something about it can be the baby of the family too, but there's something significant with where you are born, either oldest or youngest. Okay, thanks. And he brings that up as well. And he keeps oldest, thank you. And he keeps showing me the number 6. The number 6. So did you have with mom and dad 6 people in the family, or were there 6 kids? He shows me 6. Okay. Thank you, Dreamy. So funny. Yes, that's making sense to you. Okay, as long as it makes sense to you, it doesn't. Can I ask you, did anybody ever work with disadvantaged children or special needs or anything like that? Did anybody work with like special needs or disadvantaged children or children with like learning disabilities or something? Yes? Okay, because your dad's bringing that up. I don't know why I keep seeing a whistle. Was anybody a coach? Was your dad a coach? I literally, you know how like PE coaches have the whistle around their neck? At least they did back in the 80s when I went to school. I don't know now if they have those. But I just keep seeing that. It's like somebody was a coach. That would be like PE teacher or coach. Does that make sense to you when I say that? Oh, she's your sister? Oh, this is so cool. Okay. My sister Mary. Okay, thank you. That makes sense to me. So that's why, yes. So as long as this is coming to you and you're understanding that, that's all that matters to me, okay? I don't know if someone had a big family, if you feed the homeless. I am seeing like so many sandwiches made at one time. And I'm like, what are you guys trying to show me? Did you always have the house where all the kids were? Do you like feed people or something? Do you own a restaurant? Like I literally see, reminds me of like Wonder Bread, a loaf of like Wonder bread out, and I'm just making like sandwiches. Is this making any sense to you? I almost feel like they make the sandwiches and then they put them back in the Wonder Bread wrapping. Okay, if it's not that, do you have a lot of kids at your house or something? Do all the kids after school, would they all come over, or were you in charge of your younger siblings like making their lunches? Because somebody is like, this is hilarious. I've never seen this before. I was like, do you work in a school kitchen? Like, what's going on here? It's either that, the only other thing I could think is like feeding the homeless. Like there's just a ton of people, there's bread out, and they're making like sandwiches for a lot of people. So did you do that for but I grew up taking care of my siblings. Thank you. That's his way of showing me that you took care of your siblings. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. And there's something about you, he's saying that you're going to argue with me when I say this. Do people think that you're younger than you are? Like when you see people who are a certain age, or you're like, I'm that age, but I feel like you're like either more active or you're like, there's something more youthful about you. She's like, OMG. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your dad is like, she's the Energizer Bunny. She's still going. Yes, she says. So see, something so random like that. And you're like, that's how old I am. And they're on like a walker, which is like no judgment. You're just like, oh my God. So your dad is like, I don't know if you guys are Greek or Italian, but he's like, we have good genes. Like, you have my genes. Do you understand what he says? He talks about that as well. Yeah. I don't know if your dad or is your mom crossed over too? I keep wanting to like, does someone have like false teeth or a bridge? It would be like they take them out. There's like, there's a teeth thing. They were either like missing teeth or, okay. As long as that makes sense to you, I'm always like, it doesn't have to make sense to me. Okay, thank you. And earlier I was hearing, oh, Mary, you said Mary's your sister. Mary is your sister? Okay, hold on one second. Is your mom or grandmother's name also Mary? Is there like, are there two? And whose color was like, they would favor the blue color? Like they always wore, yes? Okay, thank you. Who would always wear blue? Like it was like their signature color. Do you understand what I'm saying? Martha. Okay, thank you. Like this is navy blue. I don't see like this. It makes me feel like, I don't know if that's showing up for you guys, that blue. It's like that. It's like their signature color. Like you would go in their closet and you'd be like, do you have any other shirts? But it's like blue. She's my mom. Okay. Does that make sense to you then when I'm talking about the blue color? Okay, hold on one second. I haven't seen this for days. Did your mom have hot rollers? Did you used to put like, do you still like put hot rollers in your head? No blue. Like I said, 98% of what I talk about at the time makes sense. Then we put it to the side. Unless someone had blue eyes, it was like very specific, but I'm getting blue. Just, I always say, just write it down. I keep smelling hot rollers and I feel them in my head. And it's so funny because my mom used to put those in our head and my head would be like on fire and they would just be like, I mean, now you guys have all the new state of the art curlers, but I literally am smelling hot rollers. Do you understand? I might be saying them wrong. Are they called hot rollers? I think so. Where you put the curls and you plug it in and you put the thing down and then it heats up and then you curl your hair with that. Your mom perms hair. Thank you. That's close enough. I'm like, what am I saying? But did it like burn your hair? Your head? The curlers are there. It's so on my head and it's like burning, like it's hot. Do you know what I mean? Okay. This is so funny. This is so funny how they're coming through like this as well. Okay, yes. Did you guys grow up around your family members or something? Your dad is saying like in the area where you grew up, you guys all knew each other. So it would be like you guys couldn't get away with anything because I don't know if the neighbors were very nosy, if you lived around family or if it was a small town. But he's making me feel like when you and your siblings grew up, the whole town, like if you're like, where's Robbie? They're like, oh, he's at the convenience store. Do you know what I mean? It's like at camp. Is it so funny? It's like a small village. Thank you. Yeah. It's like everybody knew where everybody was. Do you understand? Delilah, stop doing that. And for an example, when they say Robbie, I don't know if there's a Robbie or Robert, but they usually say an example to me for a reason. Okay. One of the things that I need to come through and say from your dad to you, sweetheart, is he is beyond proud of you. I don't know if he wasn't able to say it or voice it as much in person. If you had other siblings that might have needed more guidance, I don't know how to put that. I'm putting that the right way. We're like, what happens in the family stays in the family. So I won't give like specifics about it. But he's making me feel like he didn't praise you as much as he should have because you already looked so confident, like it looked like you didn't need it. Is that making any sense to you? And who loves horses? Who, like, if they could, they would be like in Virginia on a horse ranch or something. So is that making sense to you? So as he crosses over, he looks at his life and he's like, I wish I could go back and tell her like what a great job she did. I just thought she already knew it. Do you understand? He's showing me a horse for a reason. Unless somebody has a really big dog that's like the size of a Great Dane, it looks like a horse. And I always say, just write it down. It's going to make sense. like either someone lived by a horse, lived on a ranch. They, no, this is like, but it's a, you have a big dog. Do you joke that it's a horse? Do people literally, like when they see your dog, they're like, that's not a dog. That's a horse. Because your dad is like, yeah, it's the horse. Okay, just so you know, this is your dad's way of coming through. It looks, what kind of a dog do you have? It's like Clifford the big red dog. Your dad's calling it a horse. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Yeah, okay, that's why. He's like, that's a horse. That's not a dog. That's a horse. Okay. Just so you know, this is the way that he does it. Was somebody big on doing crossword puzzles or something? I don't know why. Do you play Wordle all the time, or do you like word searches, or is someone really into crossword puzzles? Because as I'm pulling back, I see that your dad, yep, that would be why he would come through. So if he was really big on that and always had the newspaper and he was like into the crossword puzzles, he's still showing that now. He's being very consistent, if that makes any sense. Yeah. I don't know if you have already outlived a lot of people in your family or something like that, or if you're starting to feel like alone or something like that, or one of the last of your family. It's making any sense to you when your dad says that? But he's also saying that somebody in the family should either write a book about the journeying, either give it to the family or do genealogy or something. There's something about your family history that needs to be known better, so it helps empower the descendants. I feel like people either haven't talked about it, or maybe back in the day they were like, don't talk about this, but now it needs to be talked about so people know their inheritance. It kind of reminds me of like when my mom was younger, they were Polish, so they didn't speak Polish because they were told that people were going to make fun of them, so they didn't. So she actually opened up a Polish culture center. You can look it up. It's in, I think, Loop City, Nebraska, while she lived in California. But there's something about at the time when your dad, when you guys were like younger, I don't want to say like ashamed, but it reminds me of like my mom being Polish. Like, don't tell people your heritage, they'll make fun of you. And now it's like it's been lost. Some heritage has been lost, and you know enough stories to jot things down for the descendants. Is this making any sense to you? And I don't know why I'm seeing an Indian spear, but I am. This is making sense to you? Okay, please write it down. Please write it down for the descendants. Whether you have it as a published book, it does not matter. Make sure you write your stories down. The descendants don't know about this. It's important that they know where they came from. It's like now when people go on genealogy, okay, that's it, Eskimo. Yep, that's the spearhead. I was like, why am I seeing that? Would they make those? Do you know what I mean? Like an arrowhead on an arrow. I just saw that like carved, chipped out of like a rock or black onyx. I just see it so clear. So he's saying where people were, yes, okay, thank you, Sunshine. See? Well, that's so right on. I was like, why are you showing me that? So when they show me something like that, and when they have a different name for things and you guys had a different language and it's got lost in the translation, like my mom being Polish, there's something about having pride in the artifacts and pride of your people and the traditions and the songs back in the day where they were like, we need to be in and we want to be cool. It's like, no, it's time to go back and go, what were those songs? Or you guys have interesting concoctions for medicinal purposes that are ancient. Do you understand what I'm saying? So other people might be like, they come into your family with a sore throat and you're all, here, drink this. And they're like, what is that? Like, I need to go to the doctor. You're like, no, you drink this with this, and this is going to make your sore throat go away. Absolutely, she says. So please write those down. Your dad is pleading with you to write those down. And it just so reminds me how my mom got the vision to start a Polish culture center so that the descendants could come and see. And now they all go and they dance with Polish music, and they have pierogies and stuff like that are Polish food, where that generation was like embarrassed at the beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of pride in that, and he just keeps talking about that as well. And he just says it's time. He's making me feel like this is something that you might have thought of before. And he said that you were looking around going, yeah, that's a great idea. Who in the family is going to do this? And he's all, it's going to be you. Reminds me of Lizzo, if you saw her speech, where she's like, all my life I wanted somebody big like me, funny like me, black like me, to sing like me. And she said, if I could go back and tell little Lizzo, girl, you're going to see it, but it's going to be you. And I just feel like you've been like, yeah, that's a great idea. Who's going to do that? And your dad's all, you. You're going to do it. It's your idea. Do you understand? You're probably just laughing about this going, yeah, I've had that idea before, but I don't know how. I always say, you'll have an idea that Spirit will give you, and it will, in your heart, it will feel really fun. Like you're like, I'm so excited. And then logically, you're like, how am I going to do that? Or God forbid you share it with somebody and they're like, that's the dumbest idea I ever heard. Just follow it. Just move where you can, and then the help will come. Especially here on TikTok, it's like this little porthole where you can be like, I need this. And people are like, I know a guy. Do you know what I mean? Or I know a person who can help you. This is, and TikTok to me is a little vortex that we all come into for ideas, and where we can market ourselves and share our stories, where we don't have to worry, is that company going to pick it up and sell this in their store? Is a publisher going to publish my book? We're like taking charge. We're creating things on here, and I'm so happy that I'm seeing things that normally wouldn't be created because companies wouldn't think that they were in or going to be trendy. I'm so glad that people are coming out here, and I know I'm getting on a soapbox here, but I love people creating and believing in themselves. And your dad is coming full force saying that he would like you to believe in yourself, okay? So I am pulling back a little bit. I know you have more relatives that have crossed over that are helping you, but your dad is a force to reckon with, and he's the first and foremost person coming through. So it's like he would have wanted this too, so he would be with you while you're creating it. Does that make sense to you? And when and if you do, Francine, create this, let me know. I share all kinds of things on here. Okay. Just know this is Dad's way of coming through. He's so proud of you. He should have told you before. Thank you for everything that you did to help the family. You're really the glue. Some people may say, well, when Dad passed away, he was the glue that kept the family together. No, Francine, you're a big part of that. You're a big part of why the family just kept going and kept trucking. So he has a lot of gratitude towards you, okay? Thank you for letting me give you this reading. I'm going to pull back and just chat with people a little bit. I know some of you were asking, what is the book? I was giving her a reading so I can comment. It might be backwards, but this is my book. It's available on Amazon. It's called I Am Home. And the funny thing about this is that I never wanted to like write a book about mediumship, but I was just told that I should. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. So it's called I Am Home. It's on Kindle and paperback. Just if you want to say like, how does this work? Or how do I know I'm a medium? Or Julie, what's your story? How did you know you had the gift? It's a very quick read because I put it together for anybody who might be grieving but not yet ready for a reading or something like that. So thank you. You're welcome, Francine. Hi, Teresa. CPET says, hello, I'm new here. Well, welcome. How do these readings work? I do readings on here for a $40 donation, but then I also come on and every once in a while and do free readings. So if you're following me, I'll just randomly come in here in between my appointments. I'm stopping my readings at the 3 people who had the readings today because I have a reading after this, but I do phone readings and Zoom readings. and you double click on that and it takes you to scheduling, or you can just see my website, which is peace, PEACE dash serenity, and you can do that. Guy, you feel like a writer. I feel like you should write. It's so funny to see. Tiffany, is there any of my crossed over loved ones coming through for me? I'm pulling back from from doing readings because I have to clear my energy to do the next reading, but we always have loved ones. And this is how it works. If you ask who's around, like I want to know who my loved ones are around me, and then you close your eyes, the first person that you see in your mind's eye, that's who's with you. It's really easy. So I always say that's why kids can read easy, or be like, Grandpa's with us, or Grandma came in my dream last night and she told me this and that. Hi, Dream Journal. I would love that. Thank you. So it's like, think like a child, plan like an adult. And when you're doing, you're trying to get messages from your family and trying to communicate with your family, it's not logic, and you don't do it here, you do it here. So if you think of your dad out of random, or you smell your mom's perfume, white shoulders, while you're driving in the car, but nobody's there, that's them. There's a thin veil from where they are to you. Yes. I would love to do a reading for you, Tiffany. I can answer simple questions, but I can't do any more readings because what's going to happen is I have to transition from this and then go get ready to do the other one. And it's almost like, to me, it would be like if I were running and I needed to run one more marathon before I go to bed. I just have to save my energy for that. Why do I say that, Guy? I don't know. I just clicked on you said, do you have any messages for me? I looked at your thing and I thought, you feel like a writer. I never know why I say what I say. I just say you feel like it. How often do I do readings on here? I do them in between my other readings, and sometimes I do them every day, and sometimes I do them every 2 weeks. I will be on here, I think, tomorrow and on Sunday around 3:30 Pacific Coast Time or 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time. Milk Alonzo says a butterfly landed on my coffee cup, and I immediately thought of my mom. Yep, see? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Janet, good night, Julie. Thank you. I'll try to come back tomorrow for a reading. God bless you. Thank you. I would love to see you then. I have been able to smell, your family members after they've crossed. That's what I'm saying. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So if you smell them and they're not there, and you're just like, and sometimes it's like they smoked cigarettes and you'll be in your house and you're like, I smell cigarette smokes. It can be like not a pleasant smell too, but it's just their way of letting you know that they're with you. And when people say, which way are they trying to show us? Every which way that they can. And it's like their bodies have dissipated, but their spirits are very much still alive, and they're learning a new language. So for you to communicate with them, it's just you're communicating different. And when I say I hear them, it's like once I start your reading, whatever I see, hear, or I think in my mind, I know it's from them because I'm making that intention. So if you're like, I just randomly thought of my dad on this paddle boat on this lake, and I haven't had that thought forever, that's your dad saying like, these are the files in your memory, and I'm putting this one out like almost like a picture book and saying, sweetheart, remember this? Yeah, my papa comes in the car. Oh, when you're in danger on the road. I love that, Dream Journal. Teresa said, I feel my hubby around all the time, past 2 years now. Yes. And you just will feel them. That's the thing. Some people will overthink it and say, oh, they're not coming in my dreams, so that means that they're not around me, or they were mad that I didn't make it there in time. They're never mad at you. They're 100% unconditional love. And even if they had a dream of like, I want my daughter to be a doctor, and you had another path, at this time they're letting go of their ego and the things that they wanted for you. And to be honest with you guys, they just want you to be happy. And if you had anybody who wasn't kind to you, if they were abusive or they were MIA or verbally or physically abusive to you here on this planet, when they cross over, they're trying to make up for that too, and to help you on the from the other side where they couldn't do it here on the Earth's plane. I had an accident a year ago and felt someone save me when you should have passed away. Yep, that's it. It wasn't your time to go, and you had an angel friend helping you. That's amazing, sweetheart. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you guys for joining today. I want to thank my moderators too. I will save this and record it and put it over on YouTube. Like I said, the recordings aren't guaranteed because this is TikTok's technology. So if you did get a reading today, please just write it down. I always encourage people to screen record their readings for that reason. But hopefully, and everything's recorded, so I will have this recorded and I put it on my YouTube channel. Many times after this, people say, where's your YouTube channel? If you double click on this, all my information is there. My website, my YouTube channel, and everything else, okay? So thank you for joining me. I will be on here around 3:30 Pacific Coast time, 4 Pacific Coast time tomorrow, doing some readings as well. I love you guys. Take care. And remember, your families are always there. Just tell them, I don't know how this works. I miss you and I need a sign. And then your job is to be open. All right, you guys, much love to you.